Anthony Davis entered the 2020 playoffs with something to prove. Already known for years as one of the NBA's most talented big men, AD had the skill, the stats, and the accolades, but there was one thing missing from his resume, and that was a deep playoff run and an NBA championship. His move to the Lakers in the summer of 19 paired him with the one and only LeBron James, and together they formed one of the most unstoppable duos in the league. But regardless of how unstoppable they seemed, the real question was whether or not they could bring a championship back to LA. Once the playoffs got underway, it was clear that AD wasn't there just to play around, he was there to flat out dominate. In this first playoff run with LA, Davis was a bona fide force on both ends of the floor, showcasing his elite two-way abilities. Through 21 games, Anthony Davis put up 27 points and 9 rebounds while shooting 57% from the field, 38% from deep, and held a plus-minus rating of 8.8. This right here ranked AD at first in total points in the playoffs, second in rebounds, and third in offensive rating for all players with at least 15 games and 20 minutes played. Now the numbers by itself are amazing and shed light on just how great AD performed, but the real way to appreciate his greatness is to dive in even deeper. Now to kick off the playoffs, the Lakers were facing a team who were hungry underdogs. Some people expected the 8th seed in the Portland Trail Blazers to give them trouble off the rip due to them being in a groove coming into the playoffs, and with Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum playing at their peak, Portland was looking pretty dangerous to say the least. But the thing is, Anthony Davis didn't care about any of that and wasted no time reminding everyone why he was the most feared big in the league. I'm talking about from game 1, Davis made his presence felt. The Trailblazers defense had no answer for his versatility. He was everywhere. Whether it was attacking the rim, knocking down mid-range jumpers, or stretching the floor with his three-point shot, AD was putting on a clinic. During this series, Davis was simply unstoppable, posting 29 points with 9 rebounds to go along with it. He pretty much dominated the paint, spaced the floor whenever he needed, and just showcased his ability to score from practically anywhere on the floor. You can see right here, AD used that handle and quickness to get all the way to the paint, and although Whiteside stays right with him, Davis doesn't mind some contact and can rise up over the top to drop in this floater. That quickness and fluid nature of AD gives him an advantage because when he served these crossovers, it would get the opposing big to bite hard, and now with momentum downhill, Davis can finish through the contact plus one more at the line. Other times it wouldn't be that drive that beats the defense, as if you allow Davis any room, then he could pull up over the top and sink it from deep with no problem, and if you let a smaller guy go cover him, well this one is practically a warm-up jumper. Offensively, Davis was able to showcase many different layers of his game, and not only was it his scoring that made him a threat, as if you decided to double him while leaving your man on the cut, well AD could simply send this over the top for an easy KCP bucket. And not every time was it a simple dump off, as when the help defense takes away the cut after the double is sent, well Davis could read the floor quickly and send this pass over to Danny Green for the 3. For the Blazers, they were definitely feeling the fire on one end, and AD made sure to bring it to the other end as well. His ability to protect the rim and switch on to smaller guards like Dame and CJ made him a nightmare for Portland's offense. You can see here that CJ tries to size up and hit AD with a step back off the screen, but look how close Davis's contest is on this jump shot. Yeah, no room whatsoever. If you tried to go at AD and create space for a shot, it simply wasn't happening. And even if guys did get a break towards the rim after AD fell a step behind, he would still block the shot after hustling to recover back. With Davis controlling the paint and being a switchable defender, Dame and CJ were forced to take tough contested shots, and Portland's rhythm as a whole was completely disrupted. The Lakers would go on to win this series in 5 games, and it was clear that Davis was just getting started.
We got a chance. We got a chance to win.
Next up on the checklist was the Houston Rockets, a team that had fully embraced a small ball lineup. With no traditional center and a roster built around James Harden and Russell Westbrook, Houston relied on speed, spacing, and shooting to beat teams, and I'm not gonna lie, they were mad exciting to watch at times. But regardless of all that excitement, many questioned how well they would scheme against Anthony Davis, and LA fans were ready to see if AD could just eat up this defense. Those questions right there would be answered fairly quickly, and trust and believe, they were loud and clear, as AD was the ultimate mismatch no matter what the Rockets threw at him. The small ball lineup that Houston used was supposed to expose traditional big men, but instead it played right into Davis's hands. Offensively, he was just too skilled and too big for Houston's defenders. PJ Tucker, Robert Covington, Jeff Green, and all other defenders tried their best, but they just couldn't stop Davis from getting whatever shot he wanted. You can see right here that Daniel House is fighting, making it tough for AD, but he still finds a way to receive the ball, and even when the help came over, Davis was able to fade away over the top like he was at a kids camp showing off. It didn't matter if it was from the mid-range, him posting up to then face up and rip through quickly for a slam, or if he had to work off ball and get creative with the spin-offs, Davis could make his own openings and made sure to capitalize. Houston themselves quickly found out that they were unmatched and couldn't contain the breakout of AD, and on defense, AD's focus and intent was even more impressive. The Rockets' game plan was to spread the floor with 5 shooters, hoping to force Davis away from the basket, but he had no problem switching on the guards and contesting shots at the rim. Whether he was getting out to contest a harder step back 3 or sending Westbrook packing with the smack off the glass, Davis was everywhere, and his defensive impact completely neutralized Houston's game plan.
Yeah, I just feel like everything's falling in place. The goal is to win a championship, and we're 8 wins away. So
now, after breezing through the first 2 rounds, the Lakers had to go against their toughest challenge yet, who were the Denver Nuggets. Led by Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, Denver had just pulled off back-to-back 3-1 comebacks against Utah and the Clippers, and trust me, the Murray and Jokic combo was playing out of their mind. I did a video breaking down Jamal Murray during the bubble, so if you want to see that, I'll link it on the screen right now. Now, to get back to what we were talking about, this matchup right here would have a simple but tough blueprint to follow. If the Lakers were going to win, AD would need to outplay Jokic, who was just now really getting on people's radar. From the jump, Davis rose to the occasion, putting up 37 points in Game 1, and when Game 2 rolled around, he put up 31 points while giving us one of the most iconic playoff moments with a buzzer beater game winner. This right here would put the Lakers up 2-0 in the series, but it wasn't just a buzzer beater that showcased his dominance. With AD's ability to create from anywhere on the floor, he wouldn't take these island visits for granted and would step back at times to really see the view. If he was originally focused on one thing, but then had other sites he wanted to visit, well, he would make sure to not get sidetracked, as if he's too late, he might just miss it. There honestly wasn't a place uncovered on the map for AD, and if he had to get creative on his route, then he could do so while arriving safely at his destination. Throughout this series, AD matched Jokic's playmaking with his own scoring, putting up 30 points in multiple games, and doing everything from post-ups to mid-range jumpers, to even crashing the offensive glass around 3 Nuggets defenders and getting the bucket. For AD, he didn't walk into this matchup solely focused on being the better player than Jokic, as it was clear that he was a man on a mission for greater things.
We want to win a championship. We're 4 wins away.
Those greater things happen to be the NBA Finals. Miami. The Miami Heat were a scrappy, relentless underdog team led by Jimmy Buckets, and were the last battle in the way before reaching gold. Now, when you looked at the Heat, you wouldn't expect them to be here, but they managed to shock the entire NBA with their playoff run, knocking off top-seeded Milwaukee and outlasting Boston. But just like the other teams figured out, Miami had no answer for the Lakers' size, and especially no answer for Anthony Davis. Miami's defense led by Bam Adebayo was solid throughout the playoffs, but against Davis, they looked outmatched. In the series opener, AD delivered a masterpiece, scoring 34 points on 11 of 21 shooting, grabbing 9 rebounds, and controlling the paint. He was getting easy buckets off lobs from LeBron, hitting contested jumpers over Bam, and every time he caught the ball, he was forcing Miami's defense to collapse. But what really solidified Davis' dominance during this series was his defense. Miami's offense was built around Jimmy Butler's driving ability and Bam Adebayo's playmaking in the high post, but Davis' presence in the paint shut all of that down. Every time Butler attacked the basket, he had to think twice, knowing AD was lurking as a shot blocker, and when Bam went to go score on AD, Davis made it extremely tough. While Davis' scoring was the main attraction, his defense was just as crucial. Throughout the playoffs, Davis anchored one of the best defenses in the league, averaging 1.4 blocks and 1.3 steals a game. I know a lot of people like to call this the Mickey Mouse ring and that the bubble doesn't really count because it wasn't real, but for the real hoop fans, you know this was more than real and that Anthony Davis was truly amazing. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you're first to know when I upload. And if you want to support this channel further, go ahead and sign up for my Patreon where we will be doing big things, building a big community. I thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.